The voice talent in this movie is remarkable. These voice actors, they don't talk like they are reading off a script. This feels like organic stream of consciousness dialogue. With talents such as James Bolin as the Todd, Christopher Benjamin as Ralph, and the instantly recognizable John Hurt as Snitter.
What? Sonic, what's gotten into you? Apparently my sonic screwdriver doesn't care for John Hurt. Go figure.
I guess on the subject of the voice actors, this is a good way to segue over to the plot and how it unfolds. In this movie, there is a lot of downtime, and in that time our characters are constantly chatting. It's hard to explain how smart this script is. The dialogue is so smart that you can honestly believe it coming from the mind of a dog. Not in the sense that the conversations are dumbed down for creatures of lesser intelligence. It's in the way they interpret new things, the way they assess their surroundings. The random thoughts a human being would keep buried, they speak out loud. Downtime can be boring if not handled correctly, but our characters are so endearing and their personalities just click. I love the Todd, how mysterious he is, his battle-hardened nature and the snarky way he talks down to the dogs, his thick Irish brogue which adds to his tough personality. He is impossible not to like. And then there's Ralph, the canine equivalent of Samwise Gamgee, a true blue faithful friend to the end. He selflessly takes responsibility for his fragile companion. And then there is Snitter, who is pure chaos. His mind has been obliterated and he causes trouble for our heroes again and again. But it's not his fault and you can't hate him for it. Together, these three are both a powerful unit and a powder keg raring to blow. And their chemistry, their camaraderie is so strong, you really feel like you know these characters. When shit starts to hit the fan, you really hope they all get out of it unscathed. You never see this kind of characterization in animation anymore. This is truly a movie of its time. With other movies based on books, you can tell, even without having read the book, the points where they stray from the original story. The book always has the tendency to get heady, graphic, and violent. Plague Dogs. I've never read the book, but I can tell how faithful it is to the source material. It takes the story and embraces it, revels in it, and it is not afraid to show.
Now, I don't consider myself a critic by any stretch. I'm just a normal guy watching movies blind, not doing any research, and doling out my opinion. But even I can recognize a good directorial flourish here and there.
For one, you never get a good look at a human face in this film. Either they are shrouded in darkness, or you're just seeing them from the knees down. This was a great decision. The main villain in this movie is no individual human being, it is humanity in general. From the dog's point of view, this is a single, enormous entity, an obstacle in their path. They are much like the bitter winter cold, exhaustion, or starvation, another faceless disaster to be thrown on the pile and thwarted. Very cool. Now, of course, you can't totally ignore the human story. Without the plight of the humans, the gravity of this plot cannot be fully understood. So their story is told mostly through cleverly placed voiceovers. Sometimes we'll be eavesdropping on a phone call. Sometimes we'll overhear a little tete-a-tete at the local tavern. These conversations are peppered throughout the movie to prepare the viewer for the incoming threat, and it all works perfectly. And even more so, we never keep our eyes off the dogs while they happen. Even while the humans are talking about a possible outbreak and seeking military action, we watch our heroes doing insignificant things like getting a drink of water. The dogs are the heroes of this film. They are who we care about. Even in the one case where we follow two humans who are having an in-depth conversation, what is the focus of the scene? The little brown fluffer fidgeting in the car. Such a nice touch.
Let's see, what else is there to talk about on this one? The ending? Well, when Snitty and Ralph, when they get to the, when the military start... fuck. When... hold on a sec. That's me kicking myself for making this a spoiler-free show. I so want to talk about this ending. I feel like I could do a half hour on it alone.
Going with the theme of this review, gush gush gush, the ending is nothing short of brilliant. It is the ending this story absolutely needed. I guarantee there will be some people who watch this ending and go, "What? No." And deservedly so. The ending is what you make of it. It is totally open to interpretation. Is it a happy ending? Is it a sad ending? It is put in the hands of the viewer, and I can't recall the last time a movie had the balls to do something like this. Bravissimo!
Phew, I'm getting exhausted. I'm sorry if I got a little carried away on this one, but I just can't help it. It's this movie. It makes for great conversation. Guess it's about time to grade this sucker, and let me tell ya, I've already got a solid grade in my head, and I don't like it. Maybe the sonic screwdriver can do a little better. Let's see. Four and a half stars. That's all I can do. And I'm sorry, because this movie deserves the 5. It really, really does. But it's such a dour movie. True, it's not near as depressing as I thought it would be, but there's a hump you have to get over at the very beginning, and it's quite a hump. I think of movies like Precious, or Million Dollar Baby, or Monster. These are all great movies, award-winning movies. But would you ever want to add these movies to your collection? After seeing them once, would you ever want to watch them again? My answer is no, and the same goes for this movie. It does everything right. It's beautiful. It tells an amazing story, but man, is it an ordeal. I feel like there's a better analogy that I'm just not getting. Come on, Noggin, don't fail me. Nate Sonic, can you give me an assist on this one? Oh! Yes! The Secret of Nim!
That was an equally dark movie, with equally cringe-worthy imagery, but when it came to moments of levity, it scored big. The slapsticky, lighthearted scenes balanced out the bleak, serious tone of the main plot. For a story this dark, you need those lighthearted moments to work. You need that balance. As I said earlier, Plague Dogs attempts this with its hunting montages and creepy jazz score, but in my mind, it doesn't succeed. Because it is such a bleak, feel miserable movie, it is only spectacular and not perfect.
So, this is your good buddy Djclyve saying until next time, I'll see you in Limbo. Now, if you'll excuse me, I'm going to go get all 3 of my dogs and spend some nice quality couch time with them and watch us some good old-fashioned cartoons!
Oh, yes, I know. I'm going home. Yes, I know. I'm going home. When I reach the end, I know I'll find a friend because I know I'm going home. I don't care if the sun don't shine or if the sun don't rain.